Abu Hurairah reported that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "There is healing in black seed for every disease except death." Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 56888. Imagine waking up one morning and being told that your kidneys are no longer working properly. The doctor mentions dialysis. Suddenly, your entire life changes. Simple things like drinking water, eating fruit, or enjoying your favorite meal are no longer simple decisions. Every bite matters. Every drop matters. But what if the greatest protection begins long before dialysis is ever needed? What if some of the foods that Allah blessed in the Qur'an and the authentic Sunnah can inspire healthier habits that support the organs quietly working inside you every single day? For over 1,400 years, Muslims have eaten dates, olives, honey, barley, black seed, pumpkin, and other blessed foods, not because they are magical cures, but because they are gifts from Allah, and part of the beautiful lifestyle taught by Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. In today's documentary, we will discover 15 Sunnah foods connected to authentic Islamic teachings and explore how these blessed foods may help support kidney health as part of a balanced lifestyle. We will also separate authentic Sunnah from common myths, because protecting your kidneys requires both faith and wisdom. Stay until the end, because the final Sunnah food is one that many Muslims completely overlook, even though it has been part of Islamic tradition for centuries. Bismillah. Let us begin. Food 1. Black seed. Nigella sativa. Abu Hurairah reported that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "There is healing in black seed for every disease except death." Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 56888. Few natural foods have been praised as powerfully in the authentic Sunnah as black seed. For centuries, Muslims have valued these tiny black seeds as a blessing from Allah, keeping them in their homes and using them as part of a healthy lifestyle. Today, modern researchers continue to study black seed because it contains natural compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, although research is still ongoing and it should not be considered a cure for kidney disease. When we think about kidney health, one of the greatest threats is long-term inflammation, uncontrolled blood sugar, and high blood pressure. These conditions slowly damage the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys until they can no longer filter waste properly. Black seed may help support overall health when used in moderation as part of a balanced diet, but it is not a replacement for prescribed medicines or dialysis when dialysis becomes medically necessary. Many people make the mistake of believing that because this hadith mentions healing, they can ignore medical advice. That is not the teaching of Islam. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, also encouraged seeking treatment while placing trust in Allah. The blessing of black seed should inspire gratitude, not false confidence. A small amount of whole black seed or black seed oil may be enjoyed as part of a healthy diet for many people. However, those with chronic kidney disease, people taking blood-thinning medication, blood pressure medicine, or diabetes medication should consult their doctor before using concentrated black seed supplements, as they may interact with certain treatments. The Sunnah teaches us to value what Allah has blessed, but also to act with wisdom. Black seed is a remarkable prophetic food, but protecting your kidneys still requires healthy eating, controlling blood pressure and diabetes, staying physically active, and following the guidance of qualified healthcare professionals. Perhaps the greatest lesson of this hadith is not simply to eat black seed, but to remember that Allah has placed blessings in His creation while reminding us that true healing always comes from Him alone. Food 2. Olive oil. Umar ibn al-Khattab reported that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Eat olive oil and apply it to yourselves, for it comes from a blessed tree." Jami at-Tirmidhi, hadith 1851. Among all the foods praised in the Sunnah, olive oil holds a special place. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, did not simply recommend eating it. He described it as coming from a blessed tree, reminding us that some of Allah's greatest blessings are found in the simplest natural foods. Healthy kidneys depend on healthy blood vessels. Every minute, millions of tiny filters inside the kidneys clean the blood, removing waste while keeping the body in balance. Over time, high blood pressure, diabetes, and unhealthy fats can damage these delicate filters, increasing the risk of chronic kidney disease. Olive oil is rich in heart-friendly unsaturated fats and natural antioxidants, replacing butter, shortening, and heavily processed cooking oils with moderate amounts of extra virgin olive oil may support cardiovascular health, and a healthy heart helps maintain healthy blood flow to the kidneys. While olive oil is not a cure for kidney disease, choosing healthier fats is one practical step toward protecting these vital organs. The Sunnah also teaches moderation. Olive oil should never be seen as a miracle treatment that reverses kidney damage or replaces prescribed medication. Even healthy foods should be consumed with balance, because excessive calories can contribute to obesity, another major risk factor for kidney disease. If you already have chronic kidney disease or are receiving dialysis, always follow the advice of your nephrologist or renal dietitian regarding the amount of fat that is appropriate for your condition. Every patient's nutritional needs are different. The beautiful lesson from this prophetic food is that caring for our kidneys often begins with small daily choices. Replacing unhealthy fats with a blessed food mentioned in the Sunnah is not about chasing miracles. It is about following a lifestyle of wisdom, moderation, and gratitude that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught more than 14 centuries ago. Food 3. Honey. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri reported that a man came to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and said that his brother was suffering from a stomach illness. The Prophet replied, "Give him honey." The man did so, but returned saying his brother had not improved. The Prophet again said, "Give him honey." After repeating this, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, finally said, "Allah has spoken the truth, and your brother's stomach has lied." Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 5684. Allah also says in the Qur'an, "From their bellies comes a drink of varying colors, in which there is healing for people." Surah An-Nahl 1669. Honey is one of the most remarkable foods mentioned in both the Qur'an and the authentic Sunnah. It is a natural gift from Allah that has been valued for thousands of years. Rich in natural antioxidants and beneficial plant compounds, honey has long been studied for its role in supporting overall health when consumed in moderation. Many of the diseases that eventually lead to kidney failure begin silently. High blood pressure, diabetes, chronic inflammation, and unhealthy eating habits slowly damage the millions of tiny filtering units inside the kidneys. While honey cannot repair damaged kidneys or replace dialysis, using small amounts of natural honey instead of highly processed refined sugar may be one healthier choice within a balanced diet. However, moderation is exactly what the Sunnah teaches. Honey is still a natural sugar. Eating large amounts every day can raise blood sugar levels, especially in people with diabetes, the leading cause of chronic kidney disease worldwide. For someone already living with diabetes or kidney disease, honey should only be consumed according to the advice of their healthcare provider. The lesson of this beautiful hadith is not that honey is a miracle cure for every illness. Rather, it reminds us that Allah has placed healing and benefit within His creation, while also commanding us to seek proper treatment and care. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, guided people toward beneficial foods, but he never taught Muslims to abandon wisdom or medical treatment. When enjoyed with balance and gratitude, honey remains one of the greatest blessings mentioned in the Qur'an and Sunnah, a simple, natural food that reminds us that true healing ultimately comes from Allah alone. Food 4. Dates. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas reported that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever eats 7 ajwa dates in the morning will not be harmed that day by poison or magic. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 5445. Among all the fruits mentioned in the Sunnah, dates are perhaps the most beloved. They were a regular part of the diet of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and remain one of the greatest natural blessings that Allah has provided. Rich in natural fiber, minerals, and antioxidants, dates have nourished generations of Muslims for more than 14 centuries. But what do dates have to do with protecting your kidneys? The answer begins with one of the biggest causes of kidney failure: high blood pressure and diabetes. When these conditions remain uncontrolled for many years, they slowly damage the tiny filtering units inside the kidneys until they can no longer remove waste from the blood. Protecting the kidneys often means choosing natural, nourishing foods instead of highly processed snacks filled with refined sugar, unhealthy fats, and excessive sodium. Dates can be an excellent alternative when eaten in moderation. Their natural fiber helps slow the absorption of sugar compared to many processed sweets, making them a far better choice than candy, pastries, or sugary desserts for many healthy individuals. They also provide potassium, magnesium, and other nutrients that support normal body functions. However, this is where wisdom becomes essential. People already living with chronic kidney disease must be especially careful. Dates are naturally high in potassium, and damaged kidneys may struggle to remove excess potassium from the blood. High potassium levels can become dangerous, affecting the heart and muscles. Likewise, people with diabetes should remember that dates still contain natural sugars and should be enjoyed in controlled portions as part of an overall healthy eating plan. The Sunnah never teaches excess. The blessing of dates is found in balance, gratitude, and moderation, not in believing that eating large quantities will cure disease. This beautiful hadith also reminds us that Allah places blessings in certain foods beyond what we can fully understand. Yet the greatest lesson is to combine those blessings with healthy living, regular medical checkups, and sincere trust in Allah. By following the balanced lifestyle taught by Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, we take meaningful steps toward protecting every organ that Allah has entrusted to our care, including the kidneys. Food 5. Barley, talbina. Aisha reported that whenever someone in the family of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, became ill, he would order that talbina be prepared. Then he would say, "Talbina soothes the heart of the sick and relieves some of their sorrow." Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 5477. Among the most comforting foods mentioned in the authentic Sunnah is talbina, a warm porridge traditionally made from barley flour. It was not served as a luxury meal, but as a simple nourishment for people who were physically weak, emotionally distressed, or recovering from illness. This alone teaches us an important lesson. Healing often begins with wholesome, natural foods rather than highly processed meals. When it comes to protecting the kidneys, barley deserves special attention. Healthy kidneys work closely with the heart, blood vessels, and digestive system. Diets high in processed carbohydrates, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure, the three leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. Replacing heavily processed grains with whole grains such as barley may help support overall metabolic health as part of a balanced eating pattern. Barley is naturally rich in dietary fiber, which may help support healthy blood sugar levels and cholesterol when included as part of an overall healthy diet. Better control of these risk factors can contribute to protecting the tiny blood vessels that constantly filter the blood inside the kidneys. But once again, the Sunnah teaches moderation rather than exaggeration. Talbina is not a cure for kidney disease, and it cannot reverse kidney failure or eliminate the need for dialysis. For people with advanced chronic kidney disease, the amount of barley, milk, or other ingredients used in talbina may need to be adjusted according to the advice of a nephrologist or renal dietitian. Every patient's nutritional needs are different. The beauty of this prophetic food lies not only in its nutrition, but also in its message. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, cared for both the body and the heart. He taught that nourishing the sick with simple, wholesome food is an act of mercy, compassion and wisdom. Perhaps that is one of the greatest lessons Talbina offers us today. Protecting our kidneys is not achieved through one miracle food, but through years of balanced eating, healthy habits, and following the guidance that Allah and His Messenger have given us. Every healthy choice we make today may help protect the organs that quietly serve us every moment of our lives. Food 6. Pumpkin. Anas ibn Malik reported that a tailor invited Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, to a meal containing barley bread, meat and pumpkin. Anas said, "I saw the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, searching around the dish for the pieces of pumpkin." Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 5433. Sometimes the greatest lessons in the Sunnah come not only from what Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, but also from what he consistently chose to eat. Among those foods was pumpkin. Anas ibn Malik observed how the Prophet carefully picked out the pieces of pumpkin from the meal, showing his fondness for this humble vegetable. At first glance, pumpkin may seem ordinary, yet it is packed with valuable nutrients, including vitamin A, vitamin C, fiber, and natural antioxidants that help protect the body's cells from oxidative stress. A healthy diet rich in vegetables is associated with better heart health, healthier blood pressure, and improved metabolic health, all of which are closely connected to healthy kidneys. Every day, your kidneys filter nearly 180 liters of blood, removing waste while keeping essential nutrients and fluids in balance. Over many years, unhealthy eating habits, excessive salt, obesity, diabetes, and uncontrolled hypertension gradually damage these delicate filters. Choosing nourishing vegetables such as pumpkin instead of heavily processed foods is one practical way to support long-term health. Another beautiful quality of pumpkin is that it is naturally filling while being relatively low in calories. Replacing processed snacks or high-fat side dishes with vegetables like pumpkin may help people maintain a healthier body weight, reducing one of the major risk factors associated with chronic kidney disease. However, the Sunnah always teaches balance. Pumpkin is not a cure for kidney failure, and it cannot replace dialysis or prescribed medical treatment. People with advanced chronic kidney disease may also need to monitor their potassium intake, and because pumpkin contains potassium, the appropriate portion should be discussed with a nephrologist or renal dietitian. The lesson of this prophetic food goes beyond nutrition. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, appreciated simple foods that Allah provided through the earth. He did not chase luxury or excess. His lifestyle reminds us that protecting our health often begins with humble, natural foods eaten with gratitude and moderation. Perhaps the greatest wisdom hidden in this narration is that extraordinary health is often built through ordinary choices repeated every day. By following the balanced example of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, we not only honor the Sunnah, but also take meaningful steps toward caring for the kidneys and every other blessing that Allah has entrusted to us. Food 7. Cucumber. Abdullah ibn Ja'far reported, "I saw Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, eating fresh dates with cucumber." Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 5440. Sometimes the simplest foods in the Sunnah carry the greatest lessons. Cucumber is not an expensive superfood or a modern health trend. It is a humble vegetable that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, enjoyed alongside fresh dates, showing us that healthy eating does not have to be complicated. The kidneys depend heavily on proper hydration to perform their remarkable work. Every day, these two small organs filter the blood, remove waste products, balance minerals, and help regulate the body's fluid levels. When the body remains dehydrated for long periods or is constantly overloaded with salty, heavily processed foods, the kidneys must work much harder to maintain that balance. Fresh cucumber is naturally rich in water while being low in calories. Including water-rich vegetables as part of a balanced diet can contribute to overall hydration for people who have normal kidney function and are not on fluid restrictions. It also provides small amounts of vitamin K, vitamin C, and beneficial plant compounds that support overall health. However, the Sunnah teaches wisdom before enthusiasm. Cucumber should never be presented as a food that can cleanse damaged kidneys or eliminate the need for dialysis. If someone already has advanced kidney disease or receives dialysis treatment, their daily fluid intake is often carefully controlled by their nephrologist. Even water-rich foods such as cucumber may need to be counted as part of that daily allowance. Another important lesson comes from how Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, ate cucumber with fresh dates. Scholars have mentioned that combining different natural foods can create a balanced meal rather than relying on only one ingredient. The Sunnah encourages variety, moderation, and appreciation of Allah's blessings instead of following extreme diets or believing that a single food contains every answer. Today, many people replace fresh vegetables with salty snacks, processed fast food, and sugary drinks. Those daily choices gradually increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure, the leading causes of chronic kidney disease around the world. Choosing simple foods such as cucumber instead of heavily processed alternatives may be one small habit that supports long-term health. The lesson from this beautiful sunnah is clear. Protecting your kidneys is not about finding one miraculous food. It is about building a lifestyle based on the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, a lifestyle of moderation, natural nourishment, gratitude, and caring for the body that Allah has entrusted to us. Food 8. Pomegranate. Allah says, in both of them are fruit, palm trees and pomegranates. Surah Ar-Rahman 55:68. Allah also says, and gardens of grapes, olives, and pomegranates, similar yet different. Eat of their fruit when they ripen. Surah Al-An'am 6:141. Unlike some other foods in this documentary, there is no authentic hadith that specifically states Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, ate or prescribed pomegranate for kidney health. However, because Allah mentions pomegranates in the Qur'an among his blessings, Muslims have long regarded this fruit with appreciation and gratitude. Pomegranate is rich in natural antioxidants, vitamins, and beneficial plant compounds. Scientists continue to study how these compounds may support overall health, particularly by helping protect cells from oxidative stress. Since long-term inflammation and damage to blood vessels are closely linked with chronic kidney disease, eating a variety of antioxidant-rich fruits as part of a balanced diet may contribute to better overall health. One of the kidney's greatest responsibilities is filtering waste from the blood while maintaining the body's delicate balance of minerals and fluids. These tiny filters work continuously throughout our lives. When conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, or smoking gradually damage them, kidney function slowly declines. Protecting the kidneys therefore begins with daily choices, and replacing processed desserts with fresh fruits such as pomegranate can be one healthier habit for many people. However, balance remains one of the greatest teachings of Islam. Pomegranate is not a cure for kidney disease, and it cannot prevent dialysis on its own. People with advanced chronic kidney disease may need to monitor their potassium intake because pomegranates naturally contain potassium. Likewise, drinking large amounts of pomegranate juice may provide far more natural sugar than eating the whole fruit. The Quran teaches us to appreciate the blessings that Allah has placed in the earth, but it never encourages exaggeration. A blessed food should inspire gratitude, not unrealistic expectations. Perhaps the greatest lesson from pomegranate is this: Allah has filled His creation with signs of His mercy. When we choose wholesome foods, avoid harmful habits, care for our bodies, and place our trust in Him, we are following a path of wisdom. Protecting our kidneys is not achieved by one miraculous fruit, but by living a balanced lifestyle inspired by the guidance of Allah and the example of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Food 9. Vinegar. Jabir ibn Abdullah reported that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, asked his family for something to eat. They replied, "We have nothing except vinegar." So it was brought to him, and he began eating with it, saying, "What an excellent condiment vinegar is! What an excellent condiment vinegar is!" Sahih Muslim, Hadith 2052. This simple meal teaches a lesson that is just as relevant today as it was 14 centuries ago. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, did not complain because luxurious food was unavailable. Instead, he appreciated what Allah had provided and praised vinegar, reminding us that gratitude is one of the foundations of a healthy life. Many people today unknowingly place tremendous strain on their kidneys through diets filled with processed foods, fast food, packaged snacks, and meals loaded with excessive salt. Over time, too much sodium can contribute to high blood pressure, one of the leading causes of chronic kidney disease. Every year, millions of people slowly lose kidney function because of lifestyle habits that could have been improved much earlier. Vinegar itself is not a medicine for kidney disease, nor did Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, say that it cures kidney problems. However, using a small amount of vinegar to flavor food instead of relying on excessive salt or rich sauces can be one practical way to enjoy meals while reducing sodium intake. For many healthy people, this simple substitution may support better blood pressure control, and healthy blood pressure is one of the most important ways to protect the kidneys over the long term. The Sunnah also reminds us that the value of a food is not measured by its price. Vinegar is inexpensive, simple, and found in nearly every home, yet it received praise from the Messenger of Allah. This teaches Muslims to appreciate beneficial foods rather than constantly chasing expensive supplements or products that promise miraculous results. Of course, moderation remains essential. Drinking large amounts of vinegar or treating it as a miracle remedy is not supported by the Sunnah. Undiluted vinegar can irritate the mouth, throat, and stomach, and it should never replace proper medical care for kidney disease or any other serious illness. The beauty of this narration lies in its simplicity. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, showed us that a healthy lifestyle is built upon gratitude, moderation, and wise choices made every day. Sometimes protecting our kidneys does not begin with extraordinary treatments. It begins with simple sunnah habits that encourage healthier eating and greater appreciation for the blessings Allah has already placed on our tables. Food 10. Figs. Allah says, "By the fig and the olive." Surah Tantan 95:1. Although there is no authentic hadith stating that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, specifically ate figs or prescribed them as a treatment, Allah himself begins an entire surah by swearing, "By the fig and the olive." Throughout the Qur'an, when Allah swears by one of his creations, it draws our attention to its significance and reminds us to reflect upon the blessings he has placed within it. For centuries, figs have been valued as one of nature's nourishing fruits. They provide dietary fiber, natural antioxidants, vitamins and minerals that contribute to overall health. A healthy digestive system, balanced nutrition, and proper body weight all play an important role in protecting the kidneys over the course of a lifetime. One of the greatest dangers to kidney health today is not a lack of medicine. It is a lifestyle built around processed food. Fast food, sugary desserts, excessive salt, and unhealthy snacks gradually increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. These three conditions remain the leading causes of chronic kidney disease throughout the world. Choosing wholesome fruits like figs instead of heavily processed sweets can be one simple step toward healthier eating habits. However, the Quran encourages balance, not exaggeration. Figs are not a cure for kidney disease, nor is there any authentic Islamic source stating that eating figs can prevent dialysis. People who already have advanced chronic kidney disease should also remember that dried figs contain concentrated natural sugars and potassium. Depending on their stage of kidney disease and blood test results, some patients may need to limit foods that are high in potassium. This is why individual medical advice is always essential. The lesson of Surah Tin is much greater than the fruit itself. Allah reminds us to reflect upon His signs in creation and to appreciate the blessings He has provided. Every wholesome food is a reminder of His mercy, and every healthy choice is an opportunity to care for the body that He has entrusted to us. When we combine gratitude with moderation, follow the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and make wise daily choices, we are not only honoring the blessings of Allah, we are also giving our kidneys and the rest of our body the best opportunity to remain healthy for years to come. Food 11. Grapes. Allah says, "And from the fruits of the palm trees and the grapevines you take nourishment." Surah An-Nahl 16:67. Allah also says, "He brings forth for you crops, olives, palm trees, grapevines, and every kind of fruit. Surely in this is a sign for people who reflect." Surah An-Nahl 16:11. Grapes are among the fruits repeatedly mentioned in the Qur'an as one of Allah's beautiful provisions. They remind us that the earth is filled with signs of His mercy and generosity. Although there is no authentic hadith specifically stating that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, recommended grapes for kidney health, the Quran highlights grapes as one of the blessings that people should appreciate and enjoy with gratitude. Healthy kidneys depend on healthy blood circulation. Every minute, they receive a large supply of blood to remove waste products while preserving nutrients the body needs. When years of unhealthy eating, smoking, obesity, diabetes, or uncontrolled blood pressure damage the blood vessels, the kidneys gradually lose their ability to perform this remarkable task. Fresh grapes contain water, natural fiber, vitamins, and beneficial plant compounds. Replacing processed desserts and sugar-filled snacks with fresh fruit can be a healthier choice for many people, helping support overall heart and metabolic health. Since heart health and kidney health are closely connected, choosing wholesome foods is one practical way to care for both organs at the same time. However, wisdom must always come before exaggeration. Grapes are not a treatment for kidney disease, and no authentic Islamic source says they can prevent dialysis. People living with diabetes should remember that grapes contain natural sugars and should be eaten in moderation. Likewise, patients with advanced kidney disease may need to monitor foods containing potassium according to the advice of their nephrologist or renal dietitian. The Quran repeatedly invites believers to reflect on the fruits Allah has created. Grapes are not simply food, they are reminders of the countless blessings that surround us every day. By choosing natural foods over heavily processed alternatives, we follow a healthier path that benefits the entire body, including the kidneys. The greatest lesson from this Quranic blessing is that protecting our health does not usually happen through one extraordinary decision. It is built through thousands of small choices made every day. When those choices are guided by gratitude, moderation, and the example of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they become acts of worship as well as acts of caring for the body that Allah has entrusted to us. Food 12. Milk. Ibn Abbas reported that a cup of milk was brought to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, while he was at Arafah, and he drank from it in the presence of the people. Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith 56:12. Milk was one of the beloved natural foods enjoyed by Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. It is mentioned throughout the Sunnah as a wholesome blessing from Allah, nourishing the body with protein, calcium, vitamins, and other essential nutrients. In the Quran, Allah reminds us of this remarkable gift, and indeed for you in grazing livestock is a lesson. We give you drink from what is in their bellies, between digested food and blood, pure milk, pleasant to those who drink it. Surah An-Nahl 1666. This verse invites us to reflect on one of Allah's greatest signs. From an animal's body comes a pure and nourishing drink that has sustained humanity for thousands of years. It is a reminder that Allah provides not only food, but also wisdom in His creation. Strong kidneys depend on a strong and well-nourished body. Protein is essential for building muscles, repairing tissues, and supporting many important functions throughout the body. For healthy individuals, moderate amounts of milk can be part of a balanced diet that supports overall health. However, kidney disease changes the body's nutritional needs. As kidney function declines, damaged kidneys may struggle to remove excess phosphorus and potassium from the blood. Because milk naturally contains both of these minerals, people with advanced chronic kidney disease or those receiving dialysis may need to carefully control how much milk they consume. The correct amount depends on laboratory results and the advice of a nephrologist or renal dietitian. This is an important reminder that even a blessed food must be consumed with wisdom. The Sunnah never encourages excess. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught moderation in every aspect of life, including eating and drinking. A food that benefits one person may need to be limited for another, because every illness is different. The lesson of milk is therefore much deeper than nutrition alone. Allah has filled His creation with beneficial foods, but He has also commanded us to use knowledge, seek treatment, and act responsibly. Appreciating milk as a blessing from Allah does not mean ignoring medical advice or believing it can reverse kidney failure. By following the balanced example of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, choosing wholesome foods, avoiding excess, caring for our bodies, and trusting in Allah, we build habits that may support long-term health. Every healthy decision we make today is an investment in the organs Allah has entrusted to us, including the remarkable kidneys that work silently every moment of our lives. Food 13. Water. Abu Hurairah reported that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The best charity is giving water to drink." Sunan an-Nasai. Hadith 366b4. There is perhaps no blessing that our kidneys depend upon more than water. Every single day, these two remarkable organs filter nearly 180 liters of blood, removing waste products, balancing minerals, regulating blood pressure, and helping the body maintain the right amount of fluid. Without enough water, the kidneys must work much harder to perform these vital tasks. It is no surprise that Islam places such a high value on water. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, described providing water to others as one of the greatest acts of charity. Water is not merely a drink, it is a gift of life that Allah has provided for every living creature. Allah says, "And we made from water every living thing." Surah Al-Anbiya 21:30. For healthy individuals, drinking enough water throughout the day may help reduce the risk of dehydration, support normal kidney function, and lower the chance of certain types of kidney stones. Many people spend years drinking sugary soft drinks, energy drinks, or excessive sweetened beverages while neglecting the simplest drink Allah has given us. Over time, these unhealthy habits can contribute to obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure, the leading causes of chronic kidney disease. But the Sunnah also teaches wisdom. More water is not always better. Once a person develops advanced kidney disease, the kidneys may no longer be able to remove excess fluid properly. Drinking large amounts of water in that situation can lead to swelling, high blood pressure, and difficulty breathing. That is why many dialysis patients are given a strict daily fluid allowance by their nephrologist. This reminds us that the blessing of water must always be used with knowledge. Healthy people should avoid chronic dehydration, while those with kidney disease should carefully follow the guidance of their medical team regarding how much fluid is safe for them. The lesson of this sunnah is beautiful and timeless. Water is one of Allah's greatest blessings, yet many people only appreciate it after illness takes away the freedom to drink as they wish. By caring for our kidneys before they become damaged, choosing water instead of unhealthy drinks, and following the balanced example of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, we protect one of the greatest gifts Allah has placed within our bodies. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is not something rare or expensive. Sometimes it is simply appreciating, protecting, and wisely using the blessings that Allah has already placed in our hands. Food 14. Raisins. Aisha reported, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, used to prepare nabidh by soaking raisins or dates in water, and he would drink it before it fermented. Sahih Muslim, hadith 2004. This narration reveals another beautiful sunnah habit that is often forgotten today. In the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, raisins were commonly soaked in fresh water overnight to produce a naturally sweet drink known as nabidh. The Prophet drank it while it remained fresh and before any fermentation could occur, teaching Muslims to enjoy Allah's blessings while avoiding anything intoxicating. Raisins are simply dried grapes, but drying concentrates many of their nutrients. They provide natural fiber, antioxidants, and minerals that can be part of a balanced diet for healthy individuals. Instead of reaching for processed sweets filled with refined sugar and artificial ingredients, a small handful of raisins can satisfy a sweet craving in a more natural way. Why does this matter for the kidneys? Because excessive consumption of sugary snacks and sweetened beverages contributes to obesity, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes, one of the world's leading causes of kidney failure. Every healthy choice that helps maintain stable blood sugar and a healthy body weight may also help reduce the long-term risk of kidney damage. However, the Sunnah always teaches moderation. Since raisins are dried fruit, they contain far more concentrated natural sugar than fresh grapes. Eating large quantities every day is not the balanced lifestyle taught by Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. People with diabetes should enjoy them carefully and in appropriate portions. Likewise, individuals with advanced chronic kidney disease should consult their healthcare provider because raisins are also relatively high in potassium, which may need to be restricted depending on their condition. The narration about nabidh also carries another timeless lesson. The Prophet did not encourage preserving drinks until they became harmful. He taught people to consume them while they were fresh and wholesome. This reflects the Islamic principle of choosing foods in their natural state whenever possible, rather than relying on heavily processed products that often contain excessive sugar, salt, and artificial additives. In the end, raisins remind us that even the smallest sunnah habits can contain remarkable wisdom. They encourage us to replace unhealthy cravings with natural alternatives, to eat with moderation, and to remain grateful for Allah's provision. Protecting our kidneys is rarely the result of one extraordinary decision. It is the outcome of many small, consistent choices inspired by the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and made with gratitude for every blessing Allah has placed before us. Food 15. Lentils. Allah says, "And remember when you said, O Moses, we cannot endure one kind of food. So call upon your Lord to bring forth for us from the earth its herbs, its cucumbers, its garlic, its lentils, and its onions." Surah Al-Baqarah 261. Although there is no authentic hadith stating that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, specifically recommended lentils for kidney health, Allah mentions lentils in the Qur'an among the foods known to the children of Israel. Their mention reminds us that simple foods from the earth are among Allah's many provisions and deserve gratitude rather than neglect. In today's world, many diets are centered around processed meats, refined carbohydrates, sugary drinks, and packaged foods. Yet one of the healthiest dietary changes many people can make is returning to natural, minimally processed foods. Lentils are rich in plant-based protein, dietary fiber, iron, folate, and other nutrients that support overall health. Their high fiber content may help maintain healthy blood sugar levels and support heart health, two important factors because diabetes and high blood pressure remain the leading causes of chronic kidney disease. Another benefit of lentils is that they help many people feel full for longer, making it easier to avoid overeating and maintain a healthy body weight. Excess body weight places additional strain on the kidneys over time, increasing the risk of metabolic disease. Choosing wholesome foods such as lentils instead of heavily processed meals can therefore become part of a long-term lifestyle that supports the body's natural health. However, balance and knowledge are essential. Lentils are not a cure for kidney disease, nor can they prevent dialysis by themselves. They also contain potassium and phosphorus. So individuals with advanced chronic kidney disease may need to limit their intake depending on their laboratory results and the advice of their nephrologist or renal dietitian. What benefits a healthy person may require adjustment for someone whose kidneys are already damaged? The Quran repeatedly encourages believers to appreciate the blessings that come from the earth. Lentils remind us that extraordinary health often begins with ordinary foods. We do not always need expensive products or complicated diets to make better choices. Sometimes the greatest improvements come from returning to simple, nourishing foods that Allah has already provided. As we conclude this final food, one message becomes clear. Protecting the kidneys is not about discovering one miraculous ingredient. It is about following a balanced way of life, inspired by the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, eating wholesome foods, avoiding excess, staying active, seeking treatment when ill, and placing our trust in Allah. These small daily habits, practiced consistently over a lifetime, may help preserve one of the greatest blessings Allah has placed within us, healthy kidneys. As we reach the end of this journey, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The kidneys are among the greatest blessings Allah has entrusted to us. They work every second of every day, quietly filtering our blood, removing harmful waste, balancing our body's fluids, and keeping us alive without asking for recognition. Most people never think about them until they begin to fail. Today we explored 15 foods connected to the Qur'an and the Sunnah. Black seed, olive oil, honey, dates, barley, pumpkin, cucumber, pomegranate, vinegar, figs, grapes, milk, water, raisins and lentils. None of these foods are magic cures, and none of them can guarantee protection from kidney disease or dialysis. But together, they teach something far greater, a way of life built on moderation, gratitude, and wisdom. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, never taught his followers to chase miracle remedies. Instead, he taught balance in eating, appreciation for simple foods, caring for the body, seeking treatment when ill, and placing complete trust in Allah. These timeless principles remain just as valuable today as they were over 14 centuries ago. If you or someone you love is already living with kidney disease, remember that this video is meant to inspire healthier choices, not replace the guidance of qualified healthcare professionals. Always follow the advice of your doctor or nephrologist regarding diet, medications and treatment. Islam encourages us to seek beneficial knowledge while placing our reliance upon Allah. Perhaps the greatest lesson is this: protecting your kidneys does not begin when dialysis is mentioned. It begins today, with every meal you choose, every glass of water you drink, every unhealthy habit you leave behind, and every sunnah you bring back into your daily life. Small, consistent actions carried out for the sake of Allah can shape a healthier future. May Allah bless our bodies with strength, protect our kidneys and every organ He has entrusted to us, grant healing to those who are ill, ease the suffering of those facing dialysis, and make us among those who are grateful for His countless blessings before they are taken away. Ameen. If you found this documentary beneficial, share it with your family and friends so they too can benefit from these timeless teachings. Don't forget to subscribe to Prophetic Harvest For more authentic Qur'an and Sunnah inspired documentaries about health, nutrition, and the wisdom of Islamic living. Jazakumallahu khairan for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.